Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed to our new Options Trading Live channel, link is below in the description as well. And if you haven't joined our community, the UvH fam, links below in the description for our Discord and our Options Trading group on Facebook. This week has been a wild week. I didn't have time to go live after close today, so I'm doing another recap slash watch list video. So I'm going to go through, what I did today and what I'm looking at kind of going into next week. So let me just pull this up here today. So today I made about 35% on Boeing. I closed down on my position a little bit on Bed Bath and Beyond, but I played some defense on it, so we'll see how it goes. Currently down like 15 bucks on it. So let me just walk you through here some of my trades. I didn't do a lot of trades today. Let me just pull up BA. So yesterday I put a position on Boeing 855 about the 330 call, which we talked about, and I sold it today for 1165. And I did have 15 days on this. I did have January 24th, and let me pull up BA. So BA, let me just remove this alert here. So BA, I bought when it was around 331 yesterday at 8:48 a.m. Central Time. So I bought it right down in here. And then today I was holding it. I was down 35 bucks on the close yesterday because we had this huge candle down, and then we gapped up today. It did sell off. It did hit 335. What came back down to the 331 area and was just kind of reversing. It reversed and was holding. Went back up to almost 335, and it was just kind of holding this period. And then Trump put out a tweet saying that he doesn't think that it was a mechanical issue with a 737 that went down in Iran, and now reports are coming out that they think that it was shot down. We're not going to review that right now, but that's what caused this ginormous spike. And my target on this was 337, 338 area. It hit that. I closed it out at 1054 today, so I closed it out on this candle right in here. It did move up to 341, but it was too much of a risk. For me in this market, if I hit my targets, I exit, because with big green candles also comes, you can see, a big red candle. Looking at that position, let me pull up the 24. So I had the 330 call. Let me hit this up here. Okay, so I sold at 1165, which was right in the middle of this candle. This did pop up to $14, but as you can see, popped up quick, came down quick. So you can never time the market exactly. So I'm definitely glad that I reduced my risk. I took my money because it did close out lower. It closed at 1111. I sold it for 1165. Even though after you sold it, you see it run up, you feel some FOMO. But that's why it's important to stick to the plan. And once you hit your targets, exit the position and move on. So that's what I did. BBBY. So I did trade Bed Bath and Beyond earnings yesterday because earnings were so because IV was so rich. But I guess it had a reason to be because it was. Let me pull this up here. We're gonna go through the orders. So I had an iron condor on Bed Bath and Beyond, and it did go beyond the expected move. The expected move was like $2.60 for next week expiration. This went to $3.20. I was at the money. I was short the 16.5 put and short the 16.5 call. So my iron condor. Let me just pull this up here. I kind of want to show you what it looks like, and then I adjusted it. So I was short in here. I short these strikes here, and then I was long the 13.5, and I was long the 19.5, and I was short right here. Obviously, we made almost max profit on the call side, but the put side, got a bit destroyed because it went beyond what it was supposed to do. I needed that position to be at 1460 at open. Actually, at open, it did. Bed Bath and Beyond did open up. You know what I mean? I was actually up $10 on it. Bed Bath and Beyond did open up like $14.50. Then it sold off the rest of the day, and here we are. So what I did to play defense, now I could have just took the $50 loss. I'm currently down. It says 91 on it. I was down realized 76. I was technically down $50. But in Bed Bath & Beyond, the reason why I just didn't cut losses at $50 is because I do think that there is some more downside. Now that the earnings were so terrible, I do think there's more downside. So I do think it's going to revisit like the 12.5 or the 12 area is kind of my target right now. So what I did to play defense is I pulled my orders here. So because my 16.5 put was deep in the money, I bought it back for $2.98. Now I did receive a $1.85 credit. So at this point in time, if I got a $1.85 credit and I sold it, I bought back the 16.5 put for $2.98, I would be down about $114. Now I did have max profit on the call side, so I did buy back that 16.5 call for only 3 cents. So I did lose money on the put side, but the call side I made money. So at this point between those two, I was down about $50, $60 on the overall trade. I realize I'm down 76 today on that, but we're still fighting through it. So then after that, what I did is instead of an iron condor, I turned it into a bearish skewed strangle. Now because I already had the 13.5 puts, I bought them for so low. I bought them for like 25 cents. They were up at 50 cents at the time. I bought 2 more for 54 cents. They're currently going for like, let's say 50 cents. So these are down like 40 cents, 4 cents. I'm actually my average on these are, let's see here. My average on these 120. So I'm currently up on the puts, 120 divided by 3, so that's 40. So my average is 40 cents. We're currently at, like I said, like 50 cents, give or take, 49, 50 cents on these 13.5. So we're up. And then I actually lost some money on these. So I actually wanted to hedge my position, and that's why I turned it into a strangle. I bought the 15 calls. I did buy them pretty cheap. They're a lot cheaper now, of course. I bought them for 12 cents. They're now down to 8 cents. So we lost some money there. Those are down 50%. But I want it to go down. So I did buy the calls just kind of as protection. I do have next week expiration, and that's why I didn't sell the iron condor for this week. I wanted to be, if I was wrong, I wanted to have the opportunity to kind of turn this around. And right now, Bed Bath & Beyond, I'm watching this go down to the 12.5 area. I'm still in it. We're still fighting through it. Right now it's at 13.43. It did try to push up to 13.80, sold off. So it's kind of holding this line here. So I think that it is going to go lower. I mean, they didn't put out their full year guidance. This quarter was terrible. They missed earnings by a lot, and we'll see what happens. It pretty much, the only reason why I went up this high was on optimism that the new CEO is going to turn things around. So I know that was kind of sloppy in terms of playing DB, but that's what I did. I had it because there was no like this 19.5 call. There's no bid. Nobody wants. I'm just hanging on to it right now. And then I had to kind of piecemeal this together separately. That's why I bought back the 16.5 put separately, and then I bought back the 16.5 call for only 3 cents after we sucked the premium out of there. So the like that 16.5 call there, we made $119 on, but we lost $195 on that put, so we were down 76 realized on that. So now we're fighting through. These calls are losing money. Obviously this is going to be max loss because there's no bid, but we're fighting through it. So now my position right now is I have 3 of the 13.5 puts, 3 of the 15 calls, but I'm a lot heavier. As you can see, my cost basis, my cost for all 3 calls is only 36, and my cost basis for the puts is 120. So I'm weighted heavier on the put side, and you can see in terms of delta, my delta right here is 49 on the put side, and my delta for the calls is 12. So I definitely will be making a lot more money if this goes down. If it goes up, I guess, I'm pretty sure it's going to go down, but I wanted to have I probably didn't need to waste my money on those calls, but I just felt better about that because, you know, in the type of market that we're in now, anything can happen. So stocks that I'm watching for tomorrow. Obviously, I'm going to be watching Boeing. Right now, the only position I have is a Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm going to be starting to tread a little bit lighter because next Wednesday we're supposed to be having, so January 15th, potentially the signing of the Phase 1 deal with China here in the U.S. So the way I say potentially is because it hasn't happened yet. Anything can happen in this market. They can call it off. They can postpone it. Blah blah blah. Market's gonna react. So I'm not gonna go too heavy in here. What I'm probably gonna be looking at, I'm thinking the market's gonna want, after running so hard. I mean, the market, so many opportunities in the market right now. I'm thinking that there's gonna want to be some sort of holding period and kind of die down a little bit. And if that's the case, I hope that there's some consolidation in the market, because consolidation in the market would be good for the bulls versus just like selling off, right? So I'm probably looking to sell some premium here. Boeing, I was actually hoping it was going to break 335. It held pretty good. I don't like it at the higher end. It did close below 340 here. I was hoping it was going to close above 340 so we can have a push to 350, but Boeing didn't close above 340. So here we are now mid-range. I don't like to put positions on mid-range between 330 and 340. So hopefully this comes back down to the lower 330, 330, 331. I can kind of redeploy some capital in there. But right now we're going to see. And then the other stock that I'm watching right now is Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat, I want to say we missed a huge opportunity here. I do watch this stock every day. I just get worried that like the stock's been consolidating for like over a month, and every pop's gotten sold off. This is the most volume we've seen since October. This is the most volume on the stock that we've seen since October. McDonald's just announced that they're rolling out Beyond Meat in 56 more Canadian stores, so they're trialing it out, seeing they're expanding the trial, and I think the market's reacting. So I wanted my goal here. I mentioned it the other day. I wanted Beyond Meat to be above like 92, and currently, you know, I know this is after hours, it's 92 and a half. It ran up to 93.78. So I'm looking for it to close this gap, kind of push from 100 to 110 area is what I'm looking at for Beyond. We'll see if it can hold up here or if it's going to sell off. I mean, yesterday it gapped up, or pre-market it moved up to 990 and then sold off and came back down to 81, and then today it's moved back up. So, you know, Beyond is kind of a tricky stock for me because it's a newer stock that I've been looking at. I have traded it successfully, but you know, for me to fully commit, I need to learn how that stock moves, learn its behavior, and that's why I'm taking so long to put positions on with Boeing. Also, I'm moving a lot slower because I know that the January 15th, we're going to have that Phase 1 deal. I really want to get that out of the way, and then we can concentrate on earnings and that whole thing. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for earnings season to come. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity here. So if you're feeling FOMO right now, which a lot of people are, feeling bitter about selling there or losing positions that are now worth 400, 500%, you know, you're going to have a lot of opportunities. Earnings season is coming up. Market's going to go crazy. You know, whether the market, well, whether the earnings are good, whether they're not good, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, if you watch this video to the end, leave a comment. Let me know that you watched it to the end. Also, let me know what stocks you're trading, how you did. You made money today, you lose money today, let me know. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.